Hello and welcome to another episode of Help I Bought a Farm for Farming Simulator 22. My previous video we discussed some methods of making some money. So we built the power generator and we built the greenhouses. And round about now you're kind of thinking about expanding your farm. And there's various options for that. So at the minute we just own this plot of land here. The next best option would probably be to buy one of these cheaper plots kind of in the immediate area. It's a lot handier for transporting and storage. However, before I go and buy a new plot of land, I like to make sure I'm maximising the income for the small plot that I've already got. In Farming Simulator 22, trees are actually worth quite a bit of money. Now, early game, you might not have access to a lot of money or a lot of equipment. So I've got some equipment here ready, and I'll show you what you're going to need to make some money from the trees. So if you press P to open up your inventory, and if you click on your tools here, if you scroll all the way down and you click on chainsaws. Now these chainsaws, they just look different. They're all exactly the same. I like this black one, so I'm going to take that. And on PC, if you use your mouse wheel, you can scroll and it brings out your chainsaw. And you can actually cut these trees down and mulch them up into wood chips using the wood chipper here, which I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, and you can actually make quite a bit of money selling these. Now you have trees all the way around the perimeter of your property here, and I love getting rid of this tree right here in the middle. It just takes up space. I might want to put something here. So when you cut down a tree, it matters which direction you hold your chainsaw. So, and the direction of cut. So when you get closer to the tree, you see the green line here. There it is. So that means you can cut here, but that's quite high. The blue line means you can't cut, you're probably out of range. So if you duck down, and somewhere you'll get the green line. Just change position ever so slightly. There we go. Cut it down as low as possible. Now the direction of cut matters as well. If I tilt my chainsaw this way and cut, you always want to cut on the bottom edge of your chainsaw, not the top edge. So if I use the bottom edge and cut in this direction, from the left to the right, the tree is going to fall to the right. So what I want to do is rotate my chainsaw to the other direction. You can do that by holding in the right mouse button. You can rotate the chainsaw. And I'm going to cut from right to left and cut as low as possible. Now the tree should fall to the left. And there we go. Now trees are actually too heavy for you to lift. You see you get the icon there. There is a mod you can use that gives you stupid strength, super strength, but some people don't like to use mods. The mods actually, it's quite dodgy because you're so strong you can lift up your tractor. It's just a cheat, but we'll keep this to the base game content again. So what you need to do is cut the tree up into more manageable slices. And I think if I remember rightly, you can lift 300 kilograms? Let's have a look, see how heavy this is. 130 kilograms, yeah, I can lift that, no problem. And all you do is chuck it into the wood chipper. Now there's a trick to the wood chipper. Just show you where to buy it first of all. So it's in trailers, and it needs to be powered by your tractor. So you go into trailers, so for the tools, and down to forestry equipment. And you scroll right along and your wood chippers here. Now it is quite expensive, so you can just lease it. just make sure you get your money's worth before you send it back to the shop. And you can lease this for 9,690. And I'll just show you how much money you can make just by using this wood chipper. So you'll make your money's worth, your money's back in no time at all. You're also going to need this mulcher here. It's a forestry mulcher. It's in the same section. So a forestry equipment mulcher. There's actually 3 different types of mulcher. This one only does tree stumps. These two can do bushes and tree stumps. So this is the cheaper option. So you can just lease that one. It's pretty cheap to lease. 1,249. Just again, make sure you get your money's worth before you send it back to the store. So this is, yeah, basically to get rid of the tree stump once you've mulched all the wood. Now the trick to the wood chipper, so if you notice, you go into your tractor and you have to unfold it first of all. X. There we go. And I like to move, so this is weird to control. You can actually pick up logs with this, but I prefer to do it by hand because you get so much better precision. And there's a weight limit to what you can lift. I mean, that tree right there is going to be way too heavy for this to lift anyway. So you can use your right mouse button, move your mouse up and down to raise it and lower it. Your left mouse button goes from side to side. Both mouse buttons open and close the claw. It's quite weird to use this. But you'll notice when you come out your tractor, it switches off. Come back in. Press B to turn it on. And if you zoom in here, you can see it turning. Jump out the tractor, and it's off. So rather than lifting up your chunks of wood and jumping in the tractor, switching it on, and mulch it, there's a trick. If you press escape, and if you go into your options, game options here, this tractor icon with the little gear, and down to vehicle control, automatic engine start, switch that to off, so you have to start the engine yourself. You have to start and stop the engine yourself. And now if we go back into the tractor, start the engine, you press enter to start the engine, B to turn on the wood chipper, and now when you get out, it's still running. 192, yeah, so it must be 200 kilograms we can lift. And we just mulch it up. Now unfortunately there's no way to find out if this is actually full, so I have to jump in the tractor and have a look at wood chips in the bottom right corner. They're 10% at the minute, so we'll blast through this hopefully really quickly and get them sold. When it comes to doing the branches are an absolute nuisance. Sometimes if the chunks are too large, they'll get stuck in the mulcher, or the wood chipper, sorry. Just feed it into the side. It takes a bit of time, but it's just so much easier than faffing about with that crane, hook, grabber, whatever you want to call it. Okay, 100%. And then you can just tip it into a trailer. Hopefully this is lined up properly. It looks a bit off. But the trailer I like to use in trailers. And this one here, the double D24073. The reason I like this trailer is just it's so versatile. You get some bigger trails along at the end. Let's see. Like this one here. It's got a decent volume, but it's limited to what it can carry. Some of these are just way too big for me at the moment. But this trailer here, it comes in various configurations. So that's the normal configuration. Carrying bales, we can get the extension on it. So I normally take the extension. We can carry 34 cubic meters. And then I to empty the wood chips. You see we've got 16,000 litres of wood chips. What does that mean? 16,000 litres of wood chips. And we'll just finish off this tree here, and hopefully that'll be enough to fill it a second time, and the trailer will be full. That's how you can trim branches off trees. I forgot to show you that at the beginning. So you just duck down, aim down the way and activate your chainsaw and walk along, and it'll trim the silly branches off the tree. Now the branches that it trims off the tree, they don't actually give you anything when you put them in the wood chipper anyway, so you're not losing anything by doing that. So I need the tractor for the time being, so I'll just switch that off. We'll go and get our mulcher. Now this will mulch your grass. Not that it's a big issue, you can always paint the grass back. You just turn it on, get over your tree stump, it will grind it away. If it doesn't completely grind it away, you can press V to lower it. And what I do is zoom in a bit and just lower it till it takes the tree stump away and then raise it straight away, so you don't get that bald patch in the grass. If you get the bald patch, it's easy fixed. If you go into construction and go over to landscaping and go to painting, so that grass there previously was this grass, and you can change the size, just paint it back in. Now that area there that I've just painted won't grow back, so you actually have to plant what's called, I think it's, meadow grass. Just put that back in and that'll grow back. You can cut that with a lawnmower and bale that up. Yeah, let's get another tree. Put this tractor back into there. Look at that. Nice. Here we go, it's probably going to, these silly branches poking out the side, probably going to get stuck. These little, yeah, I'll just mulch it up it. These little ones you can actually just leave, throw them in the bushes here and run over them with the forestry mulcher. This thing here, yeah, I'll take them out. Right, you get the idea. Let's take that out. Hopefully not doing this. I'll just leave that there for the time being. I'll go and sell the wood chips. I've not obviously completely filled the wrong side, completely filled the trailer, just in the interest of saving time here, but you probably want to take a full load and see how much money we get. %67%. This tree here right next to the wind turbine, in the summer that's really bushy, and I like to play third person when I'm harvesting these fields, and this tree always gets in the way, so that's one of my favourite ones to cut down. But you can go right round the perimeter of your field. And you can sell the wood chips just like any other crop. Wood chips, there we go. And I'll just take them up to the farmer's market because I know where that is, it's pretty close. Target, press enter. Now you might be tempted to dump your wood chips in the grate there. That won't work. So you have to dump your wood chips here. And another thing I like about this trailer is it's again so versatile in the way you can tip your product out. So at the minute I've got it set to tipping from the back, but you can even open that little door there, tip from there. The sides lift up a bit, so you can tip left and right. It's a great trailer. And just tip from the back for a minute. $34,000 and it was only 67% full. That's decent. Yeah, if you've got the time to go right round your entire property, chopping down those trees, you make quite a bit of money. Another thing I like to do to try and maximise my profits on this small piece of land is, I'll just move this, is to extend the fields. I'll use this again later, so put it over here. So what you need is a plough, and I'll just use this small one here, for this field anyway. Bigger fields you might need a bigger one. So a small plough, and if you press P again and go into your trailers, your tools, sorry, ploughs are right here next to the cultivators, and I've just got this small one here. It's different sizes, these are absolutely massive, but I'm just doing some intricate work at the minute, so I'll just take the small one. Now you notice this field here has been ploughed already, but if you press, if you look at the controls there on the left hand side, next to Y it says allow creation of fields. So at the moment I can only plough fields. If I press Y, it changes it to allow the creation of fields. So I'm just going to make these fields a bit bigger because they're really small. You don't get a lot of crop from them, so if I can just increase the amount that I get a tiny little bit, it's going to make me more money, and it's going to, if I have animals, it's going to help me feed them. And when we lower it, you'll notice there it's starting to mark an extra bit just outside the field. You can drag that straight across. And I like to go over just a little bit just to make sure it's properly merged. And don't worry if you... So I get a bit pernickety. I like my fields to be even. This clearly isn't even. But don't worry too much if it's not. You can fix it with the paint tool. Don't like to make this field too much bigger because it's a nightmare to turn at this fence as it is. You might not want to merge these two fields together because it takes away this little bit of road here. We don't really need two roads coming in the farm. Got one at the other side there. It'd actually surprise you just how much extra crop you can get just by doing this little bit. I normally use the same crop in both these fields anyway, so it makes sense just to have one field. Okay, we can actually make it a bit longer, so a bit wider at this end as well. I don't like to get too close to the road though, because along at this other side here, there's a bit of a strange area that you can't decide if it's part of your farm or not. So this grass here that I'm currently driving on, I managed to cut with the mower. But then when you try to collect it, like so on the path there, it won't collect because it says it's not part of your farm. Make it a bit bigger. Just to get that extra bit of crop. I'm going to do two more sections like these lines here. And that should be enough. And again, don't worry if you go too far, because we can fix that again with the paint tool. Okay, there we go, and when you're done, just don't forget to press Y again to switch it back to fields only, just in case you end up making a mess, so it's not going to make a field here. And then we can fix the mess that we made. Go back into construction, landscaping, painting, take the grass, and just slowly work your way to the edges. Oh, actually got a straight line. Oh, no, spoke too soon. Just if you get too close, it's going to take a great big chunk. And all I want is this one line, just to even it up. Ah, there we go. See this section here, it's not recognising that as being part of the farm. That's going to annoy me. Although I can cut the grass here, it's not going to let me hit that. Okay, that'll do. It's a shame about this section here in the corner, but what can we do? Oh, actually, we could... Let's try something here. Just allow creation of fields again. Okay, that looks a bit better. Let's tidy that section up a bit. To construction, landscaping, painting. Nothing I can do about this corner here, but at least it looks a bit better. Yeah, I'm a bit happier with that. Okay folks, that unfortunately is all I've got time for today. Hopefully that's been of help to you, and I would really appreciate it if you could return the favour by giving me a thumbs up on my video and subscribe to the channel. But until next time guys, thank you and have a good one.